This is Willie Griswold with the Bob and Tom Show, joined by Costaki Economopoulos right here in Phoenix, and we are happy to be speaking with Will Shields. Good morning, Will.
Good morning. How are you?
Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here.
No, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
How about those Chiefs?
I know. We're ready to go. Let's get it done.
That's my first question for you.
Give me some extra days. Get some health in there.
Does it? How much, like percentage-wise, how much does the teamness stay with you when you go on to the next chapter? You're Chief forever.
But see, fortunately for me, I played for the same team.
It's one team.
For 14 years.
That never happens.
That's hard to do. So once you're there for 14 years, that's your team. That's, they gave you your first break. They gave you the opportunity. And then you got to stay there. Even when there was times you thought you might have got cut or released or whatever, they stayed with you. You're like, so it's in your blood.
I love
Definitely
it.
in your blood.
I love it. So we're for the Chiefs. Cool, man. Are they going to win by? What's your call?
I think it's going to be a close game. I'm hoping it's a close game. That's for sure. I think we have some health issues going on there. So the healthier we get, the better. And so I think that's going to make the game tighter. So I'm hoping 3-point game. I like those because that makes it fun. Because then it makes Patrick, light up a little more.
Yes.
Awesome. We've been asking this of a couple of guys coming through. If you were a king for a day, you get to pick one NFL rule to change.
Ooh.
What would that? What do you hate the most? What do you want to fix?
I don't know. I mean, I'd be one of those guys that want to bring something back, maybe.
Okay.
That'd be a whole different thing.
All right.
What do you bring? What do you want to fix? I mean, there's hard things to fix. I mean, there's so many little things that you want to change. As an offensive lineman, I'd bring back, the cut block in the field.
Yes.
To be able to cut or be cut, show your non-athletic prowess while you're going after it. So to me, hey,
funny.
I'm a fat kid chasing a little guy. I want an extra tool. I want to be able to throw all this meat at somebody.
Yeah, man, work smarter, not harder, right?
I want to be able to throw this stuff at somebody and just say, hey, get out of my way. Barrel roll, something.
So you're no stranger to the Pro Bowl. You went to 12 of them.
Yeah.
Wow. People think the Pro Bowl's gotten a little soft. They're playing dodgeball now. If you were going to play one kid's game at the Pro Bowl, what could you dominate in? Four-square, tetherball?
Oh, man. I don't know about dominating kids' games, And I definitely tell
fair,
you.
you are playing them against adults, not against kids.
Exactly. I will tell you that.
Just to be clear.
But I'll just tell you that. Dodgeball, definitely not.
Yeah.
I've got too big of a surface to be hit, and I don't move that well for that. So,
I didn't even consider the surface area issue.
Oh, man, the surface area is massive in our size. There's no way we can play dodgeball.
Okay, what about no dodgeball? What about a karaoke contest? Would that be a fun time for the fellas?
I can hang with that. I can
What's
do
your
that.
go-to karaoke song?
I have multiple.
Yes.
Believe it or not, I was in choir from basically.
Oh, really?
From kindergarten through high school. So I did show choir, jazz choir, ensemble, and that kind of stuff. So,
really?
I got a plethora. I just had to, pocketbook it and say, okay, who do I got to challenge, And
Is there a picture of you at 16 wearing a sequins vest by
yes,
any chance?
Yes.
Yes.
Sequins vest, jazz hands, all of that. Oh, yeah. We did that, man. I know all those show tunes from top to bottom.
Yesterday we talked to a guy. He thought they should do drinking games. What do you say?
I would lose. I'm terrible at that. I'm not a big drinker and everything else, so yeah, I'd lose right away. Yeah, but I think some people would be really good at it. If you do anything, just might as well go at the kickball.
Yeah.
Kickball would be awesome.
Now, when you played in the Pro Bowl, you guys were really playing ball, right? Or was there still a little bit of a gentleman's agreement of let's not go crazy here?
I think the first few years it was very, very, oriented about okay, let's get after it. I think, they used to have the car. So, the MVP would win a car.
Oh, you'd win a car.
And all of that.
I forgot that.
At that point, they were getting after it. That game was, there was D. Lyman just basically trying to throw you around and show you what it is because, hey, man, you get a car if you're the MVP. And then as we got older and older and start moving on and everything else is more or less like, okay, don't touch me kind of thing. It's like, I'm happy I got here, that kind of stuff, which makes sense. I mean, and I think, they changed it. They're trying to make it better, make it good for TV, and make sure that everyone knows that, hey, these athletes have earned the right of being there without getting the injuries, without, sacrificing some of the other pieces and trying to get some people healthy for the next year. Because, it is big business. And we got to make sure that the talent pool stays there. And, I think it's more or less built off of if you build it out for the community to make sure that the community makes good opportunities to make sure that we have inroads and things like that. Wherever you take it, then that's what it should be built on.
Yeah, that's cool. I agree, man. I mean, the Pro Bowl gets a lot of hell from everybody, but I thought this year they really did a good job. I was entertained all the way through. I mean, they threw everything they had at it. The Manning brothers, Snoop Dogg, Pete Davidson, Pat McAfee is announcing the game. You know, they did everything they could to save that thing, and I think they did. The ratings were good.
They're trying to cover all the aspects, and plus you got to still bring in a new fan base. So what do you do to bring in a new fan base that hasn't maybe watched, football or different aspects of it? But now you bring in Pete Davidson, you bring all the other accolade people that comes in, the influencers, to make it happen. And so people want to say, hey, what do you know about the sport? What do you see and what's your favorite thing?
I think it's a good idea, but I much would have preferred if Pete Davidson was wearing one of those sequins vests we talked about earlier. That would have really made it for me. Hey, since retiring, you look fit still, but when you don't have a cheat day meal, what's your go-to big guy meal?
For me, and it's different. So I'm actually a plant-based eater.
Oh, very cool.
Not. So I do a little, chicken or fish or what have you, but got rid of all the other stuff.
Yeah, sure.
So right now, I guess my biggest cheat day would be basically pizza. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll do a pizza. So,
Is it like a cauliflower crust?
Cauliflower crust.
Maybe some tofu on top?
No, I'll go veggies.
Yeah.
Go veggies, all the different veggies you can throw on it. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I mean, that stuff is better than ever now.
Oh, man, they've done a good job on the science. I don't know if it's real or not, but I like it.
That's funny. Leave the door open. I don't know if it's real, but I'm doing my best.
Science has done a great thing for that, so that's good.
Talk to us about what you're here talking to folks about. We sort of had a switcheroo. We didn't get to do as much homework as we normally do before we talk to somebody.
Well, for me, I do all kinds of stuff. I dabble in business quite a bit, but I do a lot of foundation work. Mm-hmm. And so I've had a foundation. This year coming up will be our 30th year of doing, work in the community and that kind of stuff. We work with about 50 or 60 different groups in Kansas City, and as well as expanded. We do some work in Chicago and things like that. So I'm really big into helping 501c3s grow, and helping missions, great missions for the community, and this, those kind of things are very important to me.
Kudos.
So they keep me busy, but it's a lot of fun.
Thanks for doing good in the world.
We try, that's for sure.
We're looking around today. We see a lot of players, former players, a lot of press people here, but we don't see a lot of people wearing the gold jacket. Is there a certain level of camaraderie when you see a guy in the gold jacket? Do you do the Jeep wave that those guys do to each other?
It's sort of like, when you have motorcyclists and you're riding your bike and you just give them the little, hey, what's up, that kind of thing, It's like, yeah, I see you. Yeah, you make it through. Yeah. Yeah, it's a unique family, of guys that, had an opportunity and made the best of it, and then got pushed by their peers to be the best they could be. And then in doing that, they get an opportunity, and I say an opportunity of being, touted as being one of the best of the best. And it's one of those unique feelings. It's one of the things that some people work for, and the rest of us just work hard every day and end up making it, that kind of thing. But either way, once you get into that realm, it's an amazing feeling. But yeah, you see you guys that, that has one or, or has the ring or what have you, and you always give them that little nod of, hey, I'll see you in a couple of weeks, or I'll see you in a month, or what have you. And we know what you've done, and some of them you revered with anyway, because they were your favorite players when you were a kid.
Yeah. Oh, right.
So to be able to say that you can walk in the room and sit across from Jim Brown, and sit across from Joe Namath, and all the players that you've watched and revered, it's really cool. And I just sit there and be that fly on the wall. So I'll sit in there and just be sitting there just listening, just letting them talk to each other.
Do you ever get starstruck?
I think sometimes you get to that point. I don't know if it's starstruck, but I think it's, you know what the work that they've put in.
Yes.
And so the body of work you put in, you respect everything they've done, and you try to be like them as you were going through being a professional athlete.
I love that. Did you have a moment where you sort of recognized, like, oh, I can do this? Did you have that sort of early in your career, a play or a game, and you came out of it, you're like, okay, I'm good?
Well, I think it went to a point of, like, when you played my first year, my rookie year, your training camp actually woke me up to go, oh, no, I'm not ready. No, I've got problems.
Yeah.
I got a lot of things to work on. But then after you start working your way through your rookie year and you start getting the feel for it and everything else, as you go into that year two, you sort of get that feeling of, okay, I think I know what I'm doing. I think where I'm there. And then once you start going through year two to year three, that to me was where I settled in, because after you got through year one, you were going, oh yeah, I'm good, I made it, I'm doing this. You start blowing your chest out. and then somebody slaps you back down, and you go, "Oh yeah, I got some more work to do. I'm a little out of shape. I need to do this. I took too many weeks off." And so that reality sets in, but then it sets the tone for the rest of your career. And I think that's one of those aha moments. But actually, I had a coach that actually told me my aha moment as a rookie. So first camp, struggled. It's terrible. Second camp, got a little better. Third camp, I sort of felt like I got in the groove. I was doing some things, feeling good. And the coach told me, "Hey, we're thinking about giving you a chance to play here as a rookie down the road." Now, he didn't believe in starting rookies because his mantra is rookies get you fired. And so he was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to start you as a rookie because you're going to get me fired. But you got a chance to get some steps in, get some plays in, and everything else." And he goes, "I'm going to take some time." And he goes, "Hey, I'm just going to let you know straight up. The day I found out that you can play, I'm looking for 4 more just like you to replace you."
Wow.
And that sets your tone for the rest of my career.
So
every day I worked as if somebody else was trying to come in and replace you.
Which
most people don't look at it. That's what our job is. It's tough as a professional athlete. Every year you've got thousands of young men coming in to prove their factor to take your job.
And they're cheaper too, probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, especially at that point. Unless they're the first or second round guys, and those are the guys that they say, "Hey, we know we're going to need you to do some things."
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Is it true you never missed a game?
That is true.
That's astounding.
That is true.
Give us some insight. Were you not eating meat then too?
No, I was eating way too much meat then.
Okay.
Part of that was, I call it craziness, luck. But then I was always in pretty good shape. I think that's really what saved me on certain things, is that trying to be in the best shape each week and week out, that kind of stuff, doing all the little things made a big difference. But, sometimes you walk like a truck, you talk like a truck, you play like a truck. You're a truck, so that made me, work out to be as healthy as you can be.
That's the coolest thing I've ever heard. That's awesome.
Usually it's duck. Truck is way better.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you sort of, if you're built for this, and it sort of happens. And even those years that there's probably a couple games you probably shouldn't have played in, but you muscled your way through. Right. I've had teammates that I was like, "Man, I don't think I'm going to make it this week." And the guy grabs me, "Hey, 70% of you is better than 100% of that other guy that might come in." And I was like, "Oh man, you give me that big puff in my chest. I'll tape it up. I'll go. I got you. You sold me on it."
That's great, man.
Well, Will, thank you so much for talking sports with us.
Yeah.
We want to talk a little comedy. Would you mind picking up this microphone, picking up that sheet, and reading a joke right into that camera for us?
Sure, no
Thank
problem.
you, sir.
All right. Is the camera up and going?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Over there.
Over here. That camera. See, he pointed over here, man. No, he's so misleading.
Like most things that happen here, it's all my fault. So we're all good.
All right. It was a tough year for the Packers. Losing to the Lions is the worst things that happened to Wisconsin since lactose intolerance.
There it is, folks.
Yay.
There we go.
Thank you so much. That's Will Shields. We're on Radio Row with Costaki Economopoulos. I'm Willie Griswold. Thank you for listening.